David Callejo. I'm the CEO and founder of Resilco. Let me start from the beginning. So where the problem is, we are talking about CO problems, water problems. We have other problems. Together with those are the landfills, the consumption of natural resources for construction. That's fine. So we are talking about hundreds of millions of tons around the world, in particular, a little bit less than 200 million tons of industrial waste material they are going to the landfill in this moment. So we go focusing on basically the industrial residuals from the stainless steel industry or the waste to energy plants. We are talking roughly around 100 million tons per year of material that is going to the landfills, basically. And this is generating problems with the land consumption, CO2 emissions, and then it's also a problem because all of those resources that they are coming from the mine, they have to get back to the mine again, and then we have to continue mining materials. So it is a quite large, problem, and I will try to get. Here we are. I think that's too much. So it is an economical problem and it's an environmental problem. We are talking about basically waste disposal costs that can arrive to more than 500 euros per ton. And we are talking about consumption of soil, consumption of natural resources. So the European Union is focusing on how to recycle, reuse, and reduce the consumption, and this is where we are basically focused in this moment. How we found the solution? We found the solution very simply in the nature. So what we do is we use the carbonation of the waste material, and we solve the problem of the hazardous elements inside the matrix, and we get ready the material to use in the construction industry. Again, we did it by using technologies that they are already available, so we were not inventing anything new. We were just using what it was there available, and we put together, so it was applicable for this kind of market. We found a solution that is very simple and is very versatile at the same time. So we are able to treat waste material from the stainless steel industry. We are treating material from waste to energy plants. We are treating sewage sludge. We can take also dust from chimneys, from ceramic industries, and we use the very same platform, the very same reactor. We can reduce up to 95% the use of the landfill, and this is having an impact of the CO2. So we are reducing directly and indirectly the CO2 emissions due to the landfill recurring, and as well as the mining of the new raw materials. And our plants can be very small or can be very big, and so we can adapt to the customer's need. It's a plug-and-play solutions for stainless steel plants or waste to energy plants. It can be a standalone, it can be plugged in inside. So we can adapt to the customer needs. And we are doing this, storing between a 15 and a 20% of CO2 inside our material. So at the same time, we are having direct storage, basically. The market, how big it is. We stop in Europe because basically the worldwide market is at least 10 times bigger than this, but we are talking on roughly 20 billion euros per year. And basically it's going smaller because we started only 2 years ago. We are now trying to cover the Italian market. We are now covering 80% of the actors in the Italian market. And we are talking on numbers that we will go to arrive to 20 million tons of CO2 per year. And we are talking on the surroundings of 200 million euros per year. So quite a large numbers, both in volumes and in economics, I would say. So the model that we are looking for is very simple to adapt to the needs of the customers. So most of the customers will choose a service model because they don't know the construction material market. So they will prefer us managing the plant. But there are customers that are more advanced and they will just be buying basically the plants. It strongly depends on how comfortable the companies feel moving to a new market, basically. And we are penetrating the market very fast. We are, I will say, really well recognized in waste to energy plants and stainless steel, basically because they have the biggest problems, economical and also from the environmental point of view. So we are already in the semi-industrial level with both, and then we are moving also with the cement plants as well as other applications. But this will be happening next year, where we will be stronger than this year because we're still quite small. Yep. Very simple. So this is what we do. With the waste to energy plants, we take the flagships, the most hazardous material probably now in the industry, and we wash it from the elements that they are basically generating problems. We carbonatize, and then we just deliver to the industry for construction materials. And everything, just talking about water, is at the closed loop of the water, so there is no consumption of water. It's everything is recovered, and we don't have any waste material because we recover salt for industries or treated material that is going to the industry. So it's a completely closed loop. The economics are very well. If you look at the treatment costs, we are very well 100 euros per ton, when the disposal costs at this moment are surrounded of 500 euros per ton. So the recovery of the investment for the companies are quite fast. A second example is the white slags. It's a much simpler material process because the contaminants are much smaller in quantities than the other application. In this case, the cost of the process is quite low. We are very well below 50 euros per ton demonstrated, and this is basically allowing the stainless steel industry to reduce the carbon footprint, basically by 20% of the material, which is probably at 10% of their emissions, and then also saving money from the point of view of the use of the landfill, basically. So this is where we are at this moment. We started 2 years ago, and we will have the first pilot plant in Italy by the end of the year. And then we will start to move also to Europe. And we are not alone. So that's we know it. There are other companies working around, but the main differentiation between us and the rest is that we recover 100% of the material, while the rest are focusing on very special elements to recover. So the rest is going to the landfill again. We are one of the few introducing CO2 in the economics, and then we work at room temperature and room pressure, which means that we are not consuming energy, we are not consuming water per se. So just very simple. So we have technological advantages about power consumption, electrical consumption, water consumption. The fact that we don't go to the landfill at all, that it's a flexible plant that can treat several different elements at the same time. So we can mix the stainless steel slags as well as the fly ashes from waste to energy plants. We don't have to change the plant, and we can even blend it if it is interesting for the market. The business is very simple, very small plants, easy to adapt to the customer needs, and then it is already validated at the regulation level, which is one of the most difficult things when you are talking about waste. So our material, once it's treated, it has been certified for construction applications. And in Italy, which is one of the worst, I will say, the regulations in Europe. And this is barely everything. So this is where we are we going? So we made a seed investment almost 9 months ago. We are going to the round A basically during summertime. And the point now is to growth. Growth goes and to get fast. Now we are 12 people, and we were 3 people 6 months ago, and we expect to be doubled before the end of the year. The last thing is the team. I think that's the last one. Those are the 4 founders. So myself and the other 3 founders, we are different in age, in knowledge, in skills, in way of working, way of living, and this allows us to discuss a lot, to have a lot of fun, but also to generate a lot of value. Thank you.
Thanks so much, David. Do you have any questions for David? Maybe? Or we'll have chances to take those later. Thank you so much, David.